슬퍼서 울어? 좋아서 울어?
좋아서.
뭐가?
하늘이. 널 몰랐을까? 세상에 예쁜 것들이 참 많네.
I'm afraid because I know that my sister is so sad and I'm afraid that she hears what I'm gonna say. Although she can understand. Anyways, hi. How is it going? Anyways, are you watching a drama, anime, a good show, a Halloween thing maybe? The other day, and when I say the other day, I mean like more than 1 month ago, I was thinking about what K-drama to talk about, and I remembered The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, a K-drama that I saw a lot of time ago, but this year I saw it this year, but in early of the year. It's a K-drama that I will say that it's weird. That's the first thing that I thought when I started to watch it, and I think that I can say this is the most known K-drama ever, but still with a little of K-drama. I don't know, it's just like a mix, and it will make sense later on the video. Something you should know before watching this is that my English is kind of fucked up, and sometimes I just do say things that I don't want to say, that I don't mean, but I don't know, my mom just chose to say the wrong word. Anyways, and if you don't understand something, I just really recommend you to put the subtitles on. Put the subtitles on! Because there will be everything that I meant and not what I exactly say or what you call not understand. Oh my god, that's my god. Once again, I tried to do this video summarizing the whole series, but I find out again, and I should learn this from the next one, that it is really hard to do it, and it just does not take me to anywhere. So we'll summarize the first chapter, and later on I will put all my thoughts about it, what I think and what I don't think. So we'll just open the debate. What's that word? Nothing left to say, really. I don't know why I'm just trying to. Hello everyone, hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, then keep watching this video and your life will look like a fairy tale compared with what these people went through. Today we are going to review The Smile Has Left Your Eyes. Yeah, pretty sad title, and it fits the whole drama. I watched this drama some time ago just because it was dubbed, which meant that I could do anything, like be trapped in a wall and hear the story at the same time. And also because I wanted to see Seoinguk in red hair. That's a view. The first impression I got with the promotional picture, I mean this one, was a love triangle. Turns out the story was so much different than what I thought, and I was fastly engaged in it. Our main cast is Seoinguk, who plays Kim Woo-young, a mysterious but very hot man. Jungsomin, who I only saw acting in this one, plays Eugene Kang, a very normal and kind woman who lies with his brother called Eugene Guk, who is interpreted by Park Sung-won. Yes, the screaming one from Snowdrop. 지가움에 뚜쳤다. TVN. The story begins with this big sick of Yang Kyu-mo, a psychiatrist, talking about the kid who 13 years ago changed his life and who made him what he is today. This is our kind and normal girl called Eugene Kang. She's heading toward her best friend's engagement together with his brother Eugene Guk, who is a policeman. There she met Kim Woo-young, our mysterious but very attractive man. They exchange some words where he basically means, "You're not pretty at all." Really? That's how you conquest girls? Her best friend name is Baek Sung-ah, but her marriage is kind of arranged. You know, this kind of marriage by convenience. But he's rude to her, and she's obligated to do many things just because he wants it that way, including a talk with an artist she doesn't want to meet but she's obligated to. she must to talk with that others. They were arguing about this, and Moo Young heard them because he's part of the service of the place. The man gives him money to shut up and don't say anything about the discussion that he witnessed. But once he leaves, Moo Young breaks the promise. He breaks the checks as well and tells to Sunga if she doesn't want to do what he is asking, then she doesn't have to. She gets angry but ends up deeply thinking about what he said. And finally, in the ceremony, he breaks the artist piece for her. Please have in mind the quotation marks, okay? But this leaves Sunga completely stunned and well wept for him. At this point of the story, I was like, what is going on? Why are they showing me this interaction with the female main best friend and also with the main male? He can't be a player. He can't, right? You know, I became used to it and I am a sucker for good boys now. Don't just put me one bad boy with seoinguk's face. That's not fair at all. It's betrayal. He's making both girls fall for him in different ways. And I am not gonna lie, I am her in this situation. The easily whips one. And I was just like, relax. It's just a confusion and something related to a second plot of the story. He will never. He will Nope. Forget it, he's doing it. Meanwhile, there is a case that at the beginning is catalogued as suicide, but later on the investigation points out that it was rather an homicide, and Ji-guk, who is a policeman, is involved in this investigation that they're doing, along with his partner, this woman called Kim Taeyeon, who sees him as more than a friend. I tell you, she has a crush on him. And there is also this pretty boy called Chorong, who Jungkook badly wants to match with his sister. These two met again and he brings her to the bar where he works, and she basically waits there until he finishes his work. But in the process, she breaks her bracelet, so he fixes it. I mention this because it is important. I am not just saying things out of the blue. Then he takes her home and she's like, dude, are we in or are we not? Because he kind of ignored her all the day and then he answered that he missed her. Did you hear right? He missed her. It's just funny for me because he's so emotionless. He's saying he missed her, but I don't believe a word. Look at your face, dude. I don't know, try to act. He doesn't mean it at all. This is not a kdrama relationship. This is not how things work here. Boys take out of the reality to put into a kdrama. This is how a real life person will fit into a K-drama. You know? A K-drama guy, that's what it is, and this is what we actually got. It's just like a known K-drama relationship. But anyways, the girls get excited and she asks, then can I like you? Girl, if I'd have to ask every Korean actor if I can like them, Muyang says, you have a boyfriend. But you know, he says that, but it does not matter at all because he ends up kissing her. Where's the boyfriend now? Why did you mention her boyfriend before if you will kiss her anyways? Everything is wrong with this scene. I'm crying so much. I hate it. I hate it. This is not like a drama told me relationships are. No, no, and no. I hate it. Please stop. Stop. Just imagine if K dramas were like this. That will be a very ugly world to live in. On the next day, Sunga remembers the conversation of the day before and how Moyoung's friend struggles with the college membership. So she calls the university to help him. I mean, I guess she was about to bring money, but turns out that he was not in that university. So she decides to prove Moyoung by offering him money to see what he was going to do, if he was going to reject it, because I don't want you for your money. But no, Muyong was like, we're really kind. Thank you for the money. Seriously, he looks like a playboy jerk. Not that he isn't. But anyways, the girl called the wrong university, so clown. Either way, he's very sus for me. Jungkook finds out something about the case of homicide. These snow globes were organized in a specific way, but at the moment the girl was killed, they fell after being put in their place again. The question is, how did the killer put the gloves exact place once again? And for them, there were two options. Or the killer should be an acquaintance, or he had a super brain, which was a characteristic very specific to follow. In the while, they hugged, and she mentions a fact. You know what's the fact? That when he fixed her bracelet, he fixed it in the exact same way, even when it was the first time that he sees it. This is sus. This is just very sus, and you can change my mind. Okay, since this moment, there will be explicit spoilers of the story that if you didn't watch the drama, then you probably don't want to hear them. So better get out of this video before it's too late, and came back once you finish, please. This was the first chapter, and everything I think after this one was that he is weird. He's strange. He's sus. And he's not the K-drama male I usually fall for. Even when seoinguk is the one acting. This just makes me unquiet and anxious, but you know what? It was the perfect drama to watch after 25-21. The Smile Has Left Your Eyes is raw, and it shows a deep and bad side of life, a different type of realism. I don't want to say that this is a realistic drama just because there is death and cruelty, and that's how the real world is. No, there is happiness in the world too. There are happy moments and lots of love, just like in other K-dramas. But this one instead shows a different side of realism, the tragic one. There is no hope here. There is not a ray of sunshine. You can't be peaceful while watching this because you know things are wrong. Where can I start? The image this drama gave me since the beginning was cold, and I'm sure you can sense just seeing clips or images that this drama is not a rainbow. Watching it, everything feels depressing, sad, and bothering. At first, you don't know why it is, why these creepy vibes run through us. When I started to watch it, I was confused, and I remember that I thought, what is this that I am watching? Is it too dark for me, for my taste, and all of that stuff? It's not like tragedy and dark plots doesn't exist on K-dramas, because we have a lot of those. But it's this specific way to portray what makes you feel uneasy. You don't think, poor character, she or he has been through a real life. I'm happy for them to be getting out of it. It's more like, how much fucked up can this be? Can it get worse? The places, the locations, they aren't heartwarming. We don't feel nostalgic watching her house, his house, or any other location, even when they have the potential to be remembered by it. For example, Reply 1000, well, that's those number, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Reply Ali. We hold onto this place. A rememberable place usually looks like this one. Pretty yet real. We usually feel attracted to this kind of image because we've seen these normal places, normal streets and walls in our lives. And what I meant is that even when The Smile Has Left Your Eyes has this type of locations, we don't feel the same way. It doesn't happen here, it doesn't work. I don't feel attracted to them in any way. I just think that they're kind of creepy and turbulent. It's kind of strange and at the same time scary. And I think it is partly because of the blue filter. Do you all remember how the Twilight movie looked like? With that intense blue filter on top of it, it was to create the cold vibe of the village. Bella moves to Fork, and she always cataloged it as a cold village with a weird vibe in it. The color blue was to emphasize this characteristic. I think it works similarly here. but instead it shows the show's vibe. It wants to let you know that this is a sad story, that there's no pretty sunshine here, there's no yellow, just blue and shadows. And personally, I think it makes it feel like it's a memory. Thanks to Ed, you can engage in that vibe and makes you feel like the characters themselves. You're just as confused as them and as overwhelmed as them. This one will make me look like I'm contradicting myself. But I actually think that the plot is pretty simple. I mean, it's a K-drama. We've seen a lot of it. How much more can we see? I mean, Jin Kang is a pretty woman with a decent life. She works, she has friends, she's kind, and basically the most normal woman in a K-drama, at least in the beginning. And then we have all the opposite, a boy whose life is questionable in people's eyes, in society's eyes. Yes, he works and he's decent as well, but he's not social, which led him to be the weird one of the story. These two are opposite, and inevitably, opposites attract. A good life, a bad life. A forbidden love, love triangle, relatives trying to get in the middle, and a dark past behind them. It does not sound very strange at all, right? Especially with the relatives part trying to get into the middle of the relationship. Man, let me know knows about that. What it is a little different is the thing about best friends falling for the same man. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I haven't seen that type of plot in K-dramas. It is more common in Hispanic telenovela or something like that. However, the fact that this is not an innovative story doesn't make it less interesting. If it will be so, then why do we keep watching the same stories of lost twins switching life or the one of the dozen years old man falling for a human woman? It is a good plot. More if you're into the mystery, because there is also the case of the dead woman, which just make you stay more anxious while watching. You don't know if trust Moo-young or not. Personally, I never did. It is not boring. Things just keep happening chapter after chapter, and when you think you're somehow catching up with the plot and connecting dots, then you realize you're wrong again until the truth is a very different one than whatever you thought. As I said in the previous video, almost every K-drama has good actors. I never felt very disturbed or never I find myself disliking certain acting badly. I think Seoinguk made an awesome work, and it is due to his character. Moo-young was a non-expressive person. And at first I thought, what's happening with Seoinguk's acting here? I previously saw him on Reply One and Do At Your Service, and I always liked him a lot, so I was a little bit confused. Turns out that it was his character who was like that, and I just buy it so much. Aside from that, I don't have much to say. They did a good job. Anyways, who am I here talking about acting and rating them like what the fuck? They claimed actors, bro. I loved the diversity in characters, and that's definitely what got me here. Compared to other K dramas, to view towards we got enough characters and the developments as well. We see the contrast between all of them and we get to know them too. Aside from the leads, Jungkook, Taeyeon, Sunga, Yuri, and Yang Kyun-mo were badly important, and we were able to see their relationship with each other. I think Sunga got the worst part. She had never been bad. She was a good girl. Sometimes a little bit blind, but she loved her friend. And she loved Moo-young as well. Although I don't know how cold she do when he was a nice rock, she was trapped between the walls of her family. Mino can relate. And obligated to be aside a dumb man who she didn't want to be with. Plus, the man whom she did want to be with didn't want her. Because no, Moo-young never wanted Sunga. He himself said it. Something else? He wanted to be with her best friend. It would be amazing to say that she has a good ending at least. That after all that, she got her own happiness. But no, she also has to die. Yeah, definitely a very unfortunate character. Yang Kyung-mo, the psychiatrist, was the older and wise character we always like to see. Thanks to him, we can see through Yurim. He knows her since always and he knows everything she went through. When she doesn't understand herself, she goes to him without even thinking about it. It was same case with Mu-young. In some way, I felt relieved for this character to be there because this trauma relates to mental health issues as well. With people who went through a trauma, like these two, and Yuri, who is in constant needing of help. It feels good because it will be really disappointing to see them struggle without help or just without someone there who says, you're leading with this, but you can get out of there. I don't know if you get what I mean, but mental health is not very touched in Asian shows. Although I feel like now there is a noticeable progress, so it's just relieving to see someone speaking the truth. My favorite characters from here must be Shin-guk and Taeyong. They're so lovely and so caring with Jin Kang. They just always wanted the best for her, and I feel sad every time I think about how everything turned out. She was so supportive of him, trying to comfort him all the time and just being by his side when he needed it. Jin-guk was a very caring person for her. He wanted the best for her and he tried so hard before to don't judge Mu-young, but since the first moment they saw each other, he knew there was something else there. And he just wanted to take her sister away from it. Now, the leads. Every time I think about Jin Kang, I think about how things ended up for her. She had a beautiful life to live, but she followed her heart. And things got ugly. About her character itself, I don't know if I can say much because, as I said before a lot of times, Jin Kang was a very normal and gentle girl. She was adopted, but she wasn't angry about it. She was thankful that someone did adopt her, and she was thankful to Jin-guk for taking her as his real family, even when his family disagreed. Even when she had a big scar to remind her about her past, she didn't let that affect her. She kept going with her life, looking for a bright future without questioning what happened to her real parents or why that scar was on her body. Mu-young is the opposite, starting with the fact that he wasn't as lucky as her. To be honest, I don't want to be judgmental or heartless with him, but since the beginning I didn't feel his character at all. Not because it was badly written, but because he was very well written. Or that's what I think. Mu-young doesn't look or act like the usual male leads in K-dramas. I just can't like him. I know his past, I know the things that made him be how he is, but the creepy vibes around him prevents me from liking him. It's not even something so personal, it's the vibe that the drama tries to give him. It's a person who could be so much better a victim of the circumstance of his surroundings. At the same time, I think it's well written how he doesn't look for a reason to lie, how he has always been lost for not having any memory. It makes sense, and I wish someone could help him more. And we can see exactly that with Jin Kang. They come from the same place and the same circumstance, but their present are very different, mostly in their personalities, because they lived in different worlds. He wasn't rescued, but she was, and by good people. It made her life overall a happy life and gave her the possibility of being more open and mentally stable than him. It makes me sad that all of that was eventually thrown out because even when one of their life changed, the end was the same. I think what makes people deep into K-dramas and don't drop them before finishing is the intrigue. When people add intrigue and so many secrets, you won't think about something else rather than that. When I tell you The Smile Has Left Your Eyes is a slow word, I meant it. Just compare Link's first episode and this one. There we actually know at least 50% of the plot, but in the first chapter of this one, we don't have any clue. We just know he's sus, we know she's interested in her best friend, Let's Pray, we know her brother feels creepy vibes around him, and that's all. And basically, they made you understand that there's a big treasure with secrets waiting to come out in every moment. That's so fucking intriguing, and it is what will make you keep watching it. And for the people who is not so into mystery and all of that, there's a more simple plot, and that's the love triangle between the three. That's very promising. But it's not just the first chapter. Throughout the story, the secrets go revealed one by one until the final episode. Very slow and smooth. There's not a single quiet episode because most of them drop a bomb. And something else this drama will do is confuse you as hell. You know the meme of this is the reason why I have trust issues? Well, this drama is the reason why I have trust issues. At first I wanted to trust him because he's the main lead. That's someone who we think we can trust on, but then I didn't know if do it or not because the drama wants to make you think he's the guilty of the crime and maybe of the future crimes. They don't want you to think he's good or nice. No, they just keep on confusing you once and again. The worst is that when you finally think, oh, I think I now understand. Right, I'm catching it up. No, don't ever think that because something else is going to happen to make you and your terrorist a clown. The biggest of those out of the nothing truths revealed that I witnessed watching this was the sibling thing.
전화를 걸 거야. 자기가 그렇게도 사랑하는 여동생한테.
Oh my god. Shit. I completely lost my mind here. I was so speechless and I really wondered what this sick thing I am watching. Already in the end, we know that it is not true, but in the moment, it wasn't something too extreme to think, and it even made sense, you know. They even put this line in one of the first chapters. I swear to God, I had a collapse. It was one of the most shocking moments. I liked though because this was Muyong's breakdown. He got crazy, and it was one of the few times that I actually didn't feel confused about him. He was mad, furious, and sad, and he basically didn't care about his life anymore. It was the first time when his emotions were shown to the public. That much that he even killed the dude. He fucked it up there. Everything got better, and they got a better future, but when he shot him, it was over. And I hate it. I hate it when these misfortunes things happen. And talking about misfortunes, the final, the ending, and the reason for this video's title. Right now, I can't exactly remember what I was thinking before it happened, but I don't think I was waiting for it. As I said before, I thought everything was fucked up since the moment Muyong shot the dude. Even if he surrenders to the police, it will be quite sad, but the actual ending? I mean, they went through all of that, all that messed up shit, just to end up being shot by a third one. First of all, it was very Romeo and Juliet. You know, I die for you, you die for me. But the drama actually made everyone think that things will be better. They give everyone the last bit of hope. The hope Muyon never had in his life, and he believed in it. They were going to be alright. They thought they will be alright. But even in the end, even in the last minutes, they left it clear that this wasn't the usual story. The last hope will not make a change, and their happy ending wouldn't be real. Not every story ends up with a happy ending, but some of them don't even have the chance to think and to believe about one. At first, it looks like a dramatic story, but it isn't. There are stories with happy endings. There are stories with a lot of ups and downs, where downs are most, but in the end, does find happiness. But this is neither of those. Here, no one ever knew what happiness was. They never fully had it. A different side of the world, where bad decisions led to bad things. and where good decisions led to bad things as well. Everyone, this was The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, the most tragic Korean drama I saw. After all this, I just wonder, they need it? I mean, why is always TVN? It can be a coincidence, like, who manages this? You gotta stop TVN. You really gotta stop before going to the jail. Going to the jail for mental issues, for creating mental issues in young people and as well as in not so young people. But what there is so many young people suffering just because of YouTube and they're not living life, they're just crying over K-dramas inside of their room. They have to get out and stop doing that. I am just really glad that I didn't suffer to this one. I feel really sad for them, but I did not cry for them. But I didn't cry or something else for them just because I didn't bond at all with the characters. I am permanently hurt by other things, and I just thought, I hope Jungkook can move on with his life. Although I hardly doubt that because, he was already kind of traumatized before. What now? But I really hope that he could, marry Taeyeon. Not exactly marry, it's not necessary to marry, but that they can be together for real. And I really hoped a good future for the kiddos. I mean, Choron and Yuri, right? Yuri. Choron and Yuri, they have a lot of life to live on, and they really bond with Jungkook. So I really hoped that the relationship develops and keeps going on. Everything was very sad and traumatic, but it was a good distraction at the time. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I was really surprised with the last video because it reached so much more views than what I thought that it would be, and I'm really happy about it. If you wonder why I'm showing my face right now, it's because, well, I did it before with the vlogs, but nobody watched the vlogs, and this face is worthy to be watched. Why would I hide behind the camera when there's this good human here? I don't know what to say, just good up. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're watching a good K-drama. I hope you keep living a good life and drink water. Is it too soon to drop my social networks? How is it? Social media or social networks? Because I always say social media, but now I found out that that's not what it means, and now I have to say social networks. But anyways, I say anyways a lot of times. If you want to punch me for that, then you can do it. Just don't hit your phone, but you can mentally punch me and say that I'm an idiot for saying anyways all the time. You can do it. And anyways, is it too soon? I show it quickly.